On the Friday Fallout YouTube channel, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The panel, made up of 4 idiots, and the chat, who like to laugh and make fun of idiots. And Vandal tells stories.
It on the phone. It was like, nope.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if I ended it in time. I didn't practice watching the bumper enough, but I think I did.
Yeah, everything's there. Just a little Law and Order joke at the end. If you get it, great. If not, no big deal.
Doge Panis. Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf.
Yes.
To the Friday
I don't know
Fallout,
why
everybody.
that's bothered me forever. It's just like I can only imagine what his life is like, and it's not anything that ever gets discussed. But I'm like, can you imagine growing up with that name? You would have
now
nickname.
it's saying YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain streaming. What the fuck?
So far, we are streaming.
Is
You
it
ever
good?
read the-
Can you
I
guys
see us
it?
over there.
Last 20 seconds ago, we were moving just fine. I don't know about now. I know about
mean,
then now. The then
right.
now that they see when we
But then now that I see looks good. So I don't know.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
You ever read
whatever. I don't know what the fuck to do
Whatever.
anymore.
You ever read the book Down the Flagpole by Dick Burns?
Yes.
How about Yellow Snow by I.P. Freely? No?
How about Lines in the Sand by Peter Dragon?
Never
All
thought
right.
I'd say I miss Snorkel.
I got this whole bottom section to myself.
No doubt. Spread out. Hey, how was your week, Sewer Rug?
It's good. It's good down here. Nothing over here. Nothing LARPing over there. It's good. Oh, that was my week?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a week, dude. I don't have anything exciting happening down here in the sewer layer. I survived. I did some jobs. Busy. You know, I got to stop saying, oh, I'm so fucking busy. I've talked about that. Sewers until like 8 at night, and then I'm not making dinner, so it's what fast food or restaurant are we going to eat? And then it's go to bed and do it all over again. My life is just a revolving door of sewers.
I don't know if I want to get into this now, but just because you brought up being busy, I've been talking to other people about this. We hate big businesses.
Hate them.
We love small businesses.
Small. Yeah.
At what point does that transition happen?
I hate that. Because more and more people are doing you need to grow. You need to.
Van already has an answer. It's prepped, so it's good. I can see it in the chamber already.
Yeah.
When you have 2 customer service agents, you become big business.
But I'm my own office, right? So all the emails, all the texts, all the phone calls, they're all me, right? So I'm doing the work and I'm taking the stuff on, and it's like I'm trying to be both, you know.
Sounds like you need an office manager.
I changed my voicemail. My voicemail used to be like, "Hey, you've reached Matt. Call me back when you get this," and then it would hang up, you know.
Yeah.
And that was my voicemail outgoing. But now I have to have like a professional one because so many people call and stuff and strangers and It's
But
just
that's a good thing. That means you're doing good works.
I don't
yeah.
know if I'd say you'd have to get like a professional one, because like that personal touch means a lot. I've noticed when like contacting clients, customers, and stuff like that, that they'd prefer to just talk to you like an average person, than be like, oh, thank you for calling Mr. Rugg Sewer Business. We'd love to serve you in your pipes. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like the basic.
Yeah.
Hey,
How
this is
often do
Matt.
you
Leave a
call?
message.
How often do you call a company and you talk to a person on the phone, like immediately? Like, hey, this is Rogue Shop. How can I help you? How often does that happen? Most of the time, you're calling somewhere. It's usually some. So yeah, I'm with you. The
Yeah.
customer service aspect. That's a good call, Vano.
So yeah,
Anyway, I had a
that's
week
it.
as well. Nothing to really shout about. My boss was in town, so all the things that kind of go along with that. A bunch of new products out. Got these fantastic new chocolate bars that are like delicious. Um, but other than that, I had spent some time prepping for the show tonight. I wanted to do this Law and Order type episode for a little while now. Obviously, I went a little hog wild on the intro, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a intro I spent tons of hours on and can use once, so it's cool. Um, that's it for me. Vanna, how was your week, man?
I don't have anything to talk about.
What was that?
I don't have anything. I'm too loud now. I'm not loud enough. I said, I don't have anything to talk about.
But that's just, you can see why we find that to be a little unusual.
I mean, I'm trying to think of it, and like, there's not really anything interesting going on. Oh, there was a pigeon fight outside my job. So, yeah. And it's all work related. I don't do anything else. You know what I mean? Like, I
Dude,
don't. I'm
what's
not old
standard
now.
in Vegas is not standard everywhere else,
Yeah.
I've never seen a pigeon fight. So how did it go? Was there an absolute victor?
So, and oh yeah, oh dude, it was rough. So
Okay.
I'm talking about this. And we were our office shop whatever is in a strip mall kind of thing, right? And we have these like it's like an over. I can't think of the name right now, but there's a roof that goes out of the front of it, and it has the trusses and shit in it, and all that stuff. And we have these pigeon spikes in each one because pigeons are insane out here. Like there are more pigeons here than there are like trans people in sports. You know what I mean? By a mile.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, anyways, like the pigeons are insane out here. Like it's like a health thing almost. So, anyways, we have all these spikes on this stuff, on those trusses and all that shit for the pigeons to like fuck off. The pigeons have figured out how to like sit in between those spikes and stuff. And like there's this one spot where they like to sit. 'Cause like when I go out on my break, I go out the front and I stand out there, hit my vape, and all that shit. And so I often you'll hear the, and they're fucking fighting each other and shit. So, anyways, one of the spike
Sorry,
strips
how
right there.
How does that go again?
You know.
Okay, cool. I'm immersed.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean, he's like smell like shit too. Anyways, so they go up there and they fight for this one spot all the time. And so like one will be sitting there, and he's all like, and just sitting there and shit. The other one will come up and like, cat at him and shit, and then like push him out. It's like musical chairs for pigeons, Anyways, some of the spikes are hard plastic and they seem pretty immovable. You know what I mean? But that's the ones they sit between. But there's also those thin metal ones, right? Like what San Francisco uses so that people like sewer rugs don't sleep on the floor.
Okay.
Kind of
Safety.
shit. So
It's fine.
yeah. So the plastic ones, they seem pretty sturdy. They never moved them down. So I was sitting there and like there's always like feathers and shit out in front of the door and stuff. Like they get into it and stuff. So anyways, I was standing out there, I was hitting my vape, and I was on break by myself. Usually the other two girls go with me, but like we get off times, like they came in early, something, whatever. And so I'm out there by myself, I'm scrolling my phone, like laughing at memes. And all of a sudden I just hear like, and they like going at it. I didn't think anything of it, and so I look up at him, and I'm like, okay, this motherfucking pigeon was like, he was like, had his like claws, fucking talons. They're not even talons, it's a pigeon, but it's like talons stuck into the wood. Like he was like fucking 90 degrees, and he was fucking like pulling at the fucking thing, and he ripped the fucking spike off, and then he went like he was like on the wall still, and the other pigeon like looked at him, and his head was like, what are you doing with that thing? And he fucking started swinging it at the other pigeon, dude. And like started stabbing him and shit. And like there's fucking bird feathers and shit going everywhere. And I'm just like, no one's here to see this. I was like, no one's here to see this, you know? And I was like, okay. So I go in the shop and I grab them. And as soon as I came back out, the other pigeon that like was getting fucked up was missing like half its feathers. It was all bloody and shit. And it was like walking on the sidewalk like, I accepted defeat, you know, and stuff like that. And then one pigeon was still standing there, and I guess his foot got stuck because one of them he pulled it out, and then he was hanging there, and he's like fluttering his fucking wings and stuff. He's like, and I'm just like,
does somebody like come by to collect?
absolutely
dead
not,
pigeons?
absolutely not. The property management people shit. So the owner of the complex, he's a shitty guy. Like I met him once, and like I always hear stories, you know, from the owners of the company, and like yeah, that guy sucks and all that stuff. So he came in one time, and it's not Pawn Stars, but there's like one that's like in Boston or something, a pawn show, and it's a guy with that greasy slick back hair and the leather jacket all the time, you know. He's a white guy, and he's always like this. That's exactly what that guy looks like. So anyways, long story short, what that guy does is like he pays these property management people to come in, because like for the first 3 months they'll do it super cheap, right, to get you to buy their services, and then he fires them those 3 months and then gets a new one in, fires them in 3 months, gets a new one in, so nothing ever gets fucking cleaned in this place. Like next to our on our building there's like an old Cons, like, you know, it's like a home goods store kind of thing, right? They used to, you know, sell couches and shit like that. So it went out of business. And so like there's a little corner over there where I don't know who the fuck's doing it, but someone keeps stealing trash from one of the apartment complexes in our area and brings it there, goes through it trying to find like people's mail and shit, and just leaves it. And so anyways, when the property management team that is there comes, they clean the trash cans and they just walk right by that. So there's like a 2-foot pile of fucking mail and trash and like, you know, stuff.
God.
But anyways, someone had a fucking Little Caesars box they threw in that pile, and I was like, damn, I want pretzel bread pizza. But that was my week.
Moral of the story?
Man. I absolutely love you. And chat, you should thank me that I pulled that story out of him at the beginning of the show, because that, you know, there's going to be a bunch of pigeon stuff coming up, pigeon fighting. I'm just feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about the pigeon fighting that's about to happen on the Friday Fallout.
Just moral of the story?
That is so good.
That pigeon brought.
Next time I'll go get my fucking, yeah.
I'm going to deep dive this whole thing because I want to know. There's got to be more video of that. Like,
well,
we
have a camera out there, but I don't have access to the cameras.
No, I'm saying on the internet. I bet there's a whole society of pigeon fighting people taking videos of this shit. I guarantee it's out there. Anyway, sorry
that
for
pigeon brought a knife to the beak fight. Okay,
yell these wonderful chat members out who've been so patient listening to this wonderful story.
Cuntosaurus, they were pigeons. So welcome, Cuntosaurus. They were pigeons. They're fucking dirty, nasty pigeons. And I got that GoPro thing for when I ride my scooter. Next time I go on my breaks at work, I'll wear it, and I'll wear the helmet too, so I can be like watch it for you guys, so you guys can be like,
and be safe. And be safe while doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's here?
Ern was the first one here. He said, Dookie. Paul's here. He said, Booyah. Let's see. Paul Cole says, let's all go to court. Let's all watch some law. Yeah. Now I want to watch Ted. Ern says, I need to find my actual mug shots. There's 2 of them. The first one's probably hilarious. I tried calling DC out here, right? When I got falsely arrested a while back, I told you guys the story. And they're like, yeah, what can I do for you? I was like, can I get my mug shot? And they hung up on me. I was wondering. I was like, why wouldn't you share that?
I'm sure that's not the first time they've been asked.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't do anything cool enough to get put in the newspaper, you know. Let's see. LJ's here. Said, here we go again. Fuck you, LJ. Jay's here. Says kitchen rug. Yeah, I think that's what your name is now, kitchen rug, because you're always in the kitchen. Colorado Weeboo's here. He said, what up? Connoisseur's here. Says, hola. She also says gracias when she goes to Mexican restaurants. Let's see. Ern says it's choppy in the intro, but it's fine now, so hopefully it didn't ruin your intro, Anthony. Paul says a friend of his was a caddy.
Yeah.
For
I can hear him, but I can't see it. Well,
am I frozen?
Maybe. You keep coming in and out.
And we're spiral screen. We're fucking spiral screen on there, guys.
It's always a show that Anthony puts a lot of effort into. Is it better now?
Yeah, like the best ones with all the super.
It must be because maybe the files I give you are just too big.
But I don't have anything playing right now.
Trash that. Well, I know, but maybe it's just the actual. I don't know. Is it the size of the file on your desktop that's causing the problem?
No, it shouldn't be anything.
Still
like
here. But they're watching us do this type of thing.
Is it that bad?
Yeah. I could do
I
this.
can't. Well, I
I
mean,
could
we're
do this.
catching up, so I don't know.
I could do this.
God damn it! I don't know what the fuck's going on. But you guys can still hear, at least, yeah.
And people will think that I've been like telling a crazy story.
Oh yeah, it's
reality.
bad. I can see it now. I push play on the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't know. Can they hear us?
Who knows?
It looks like it's
I don't-
better now.
It's gonna take a while for them to catch up. It seems
It's
terrible.
better now. I don't know. I can't see what chat's saying. I'm gonna keep reading chat. Let's see.
Yeah.
Ben
We're
asked where
frozen.
Snorkel is. I told him he died. Yeah, I'm frozen. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Jake Campanelli.
I don't know.
Stop downloading all the...
cup of spaghetti, yeah.
Yeah, a cup of spaghetti.
I honestly
Feminissimo.
now it says excellent connection, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like,
Excelling connection.
Well,
you
they
said?
can hear us, so
Fuck. They can hear us. Oh, fuck. Welcome to the podcast. We
better,
are not...
I think. Are you done? Just keep shouting out chat. What's the worst that
Yeah.
could happen?
anyways, let's see. Ben asked where Snorkel
What,
is. I told
somebody
him he
not going to
died.
tune in?
And then Ben says, "Poor Snorkel." And then, or wait, Paul Cole said, "Poor Snorkel." Ben said, "Nice." LJ says, "V8's probably at the Furry Con with Snorkel." Paul Cole says, "I hate Walmart, Miss Hills, and Big Bear stores." I don't even know what a Big Bear store is. Is that like for gay dudes?
No, it's a
Yeah, it's
big
where I have
box
to
brand.
shop.
Oh,
I can only find clothes at the Big Bear store.
Yeah. Mike T is here. Said, "Evening, Oink Squad." Paul Cole says, "Speaking of birds, I hit 2 of them in the past couple weeks. Flew right into my windshield."
Damn.
And Jay asked if those were whooping sounds. LJ says, "I survived another vandal story, unfortunately." Jay said it's not over yet. Maybe you guys will believe this, but I saw this real life, 100% true. So my sister had 2 dogs. This is Ern, by the way. It said, "I don't know if they were playing or fighting or what, but we came outside and one dog had its foot stuck in the other dog's asshole. Fucking stuck. We had to pull them apart."
So who's at fault?
Yeah, I don't know. GGRE says pigeons are not dirty. They were invaluable during World War I and World War II. Okay, so we're rocks in the Stone Age. Like, like, what the fuck do you want from me?
There's always that one guy.
Yeah.
That one guy is like,
Contrarians.
actually. God damn, I should be giving you the actually.
LT is here. What's up, LT? Glad to see you. Let's see. Stop downloading all the porn in the background. Who downloads porn anymore? I just have
In the
a million
background.
open tabs in my private browser on my iPhone that I'm never going to go back to. You know, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll watch this again. No, you won't. No, you won't.
No, probably not.
Yeah. Ern says it's fully back now. GGRE says we can't hear us. Good. I don't want to hear you either.
No,
Ben says it's where all the bears hang out. Big Bear is like a miniature Walmart, but way better, says Paul Cole. Colorado's coming over to Boop Suey, and Jay says
Nope.
Pixar didn't happen, Ern. And then
The dog?
GGRE says apologize to all the pigeon kind. There you go. You happy? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
All right, without further ado, let's rub it down.
All right, rub downs down.
Sweet. Well, as most of you know, we're doing a little Law and Order show this evening. So we thought we'd do some associated things, I guess. So I do have a Rotten Pizza review. We're going to do a little fun game of Judge Shows Real or Not. We got a fun segment that Sura came up with about some obscure laws. So that segment is called It's Still the Law. And last, we're going to be doing our own Judge Show right here on the Friday Fallout. And chat members that stick around will be the jury. So stick around. It'll be some fun. It's not going to take too long, I promise. But anyway, if you roll that beautiful bean footage, we'll get on with the Rotten Pizzast of reviews.
What's up, Neil Pitts?
roll the footage, see what happens.
Paul Cole says, I've seen videos of pigeons showing empathy. And GGRE says, yes, way more than the pigeon hater. No, man, I'll throw them like some french fries and shit, but they're gross. Pigeons are nasty. They're fucking nasty.
It's okay. You're allowed to have your own feelings. Feel what you feel.
And LJ, I object. I already object.
Well, something else that happened to me this week, and I don't know. I thought maybe I died this day because a pretty girl sent me a box of candy in the mail. So I thought I would review one of the items that happened to be in that box. Just saying. I haven't seen her in the chat, but Delane sent me a whole box of different freeze-dried delicacies. So
You've
we'll
never
get
tried
through them as
freeze-dried?
we go. But I'd never tried these before.
Oh, man.
I've had these this week. I'm down to like, I don't know, less than half a bag. These things
They're
are
so
like
good.
fucking crack.
Yeah.
And I don't have like the best teeth. I mean, I'm an old white guy that didn't take care of himself. Like, it's like killing me, but they're so good. So big props to her. Yeah, I think she got these on Amazon, but I just wanted to say, thank you. But also, man, what the fuck? Now, everything in the box wasn't top 10. So we'll go through that stuff, but I wanted to give a shout out because these things are amazing. And I'm sure you guys have tried them. Vando, you really like them?
Yeah, they're super good. We actually tried them. We went to the Foodie Fest out here, and they had the booths and shit like that, and someone had them. And they've been around for a while. But the freeze-dried
sure,
Skittles
yeah.
are the best ones. Like, I've tried a few different types of candy, but the Skittles are the best.
I guess visually it wasn't appealing to me, so I was like, I don't think that's something I would like. But I'm like, oh, they're free and they're here. Let's, try a couple. Dude, I couldn't stop eating the fucking things. I had to put them like away from me to stop eating them. So it was pretty bad. What about you, Mr. Rugg? You ever tried these?
I've never tried them, but is it the same crunch or consistency of a corn nut? Because if it is, but sweet, I will eat it.
I would say probably not quite as crunchy as a corn nut because corn nuts are pretty hard.
I broke
That's
my
how I broke my
teeth
tooth.
with those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, yes, less than a corn nut, but all the crunch you can stand.
Then yeah, I definitely have been craving crunch late nights. This would be right up my alley.
And the other thing I
filler.
will say, like with regular Skittles, when you eat like more than a couple, your mouth just gets way oversaturated with the fruit flavor.
Right.
It's not the same with this. Like it seems like it's less, if you will, but more because you can actually taste it instead of like choking on the syrupy sweetness that is your spit.
Yeah.
So it's a more enjoyable experience with Skittles, in my opinion.
And like the
Yeah,
Skittles are good too because I don't know about you guys, but I'm like a savor kind of person, so I like to get like a little bit of water in my mouth when I eat these, so they melt a little bit, and then I like to
Yep.
tongue the shells.
I wouldn't say I got intimate with it that far, but yes, a little saturation does also change the consistency, which is a pleasurable experience as well. We'll put it that way. I don't know why, but my mouth is extremely dry at the moment.
Because you're thinking about it.
No, I wish that was the case. Okay, so that's it. That's all I had. Anybody in chat have anything to say, good, bad, or otherwise? Are there any freeze dried things that you guys like better or equally to this? Because I'd be on board.
Come back on, Sewer Ruggy, stupid bitch. I mean,
Yeah. I'll come back on.
Paul Cole in chat said freeze-dried Jolly Ranchers. I haven't tried those. I don't know about those, though, because, like, the Skittles have, like, a soft center thing, right? That's what, like,
Yeah.
puffs up. Jolly Ranchers, I just gotta imagine, like, they probably good because, like, super crunchy. I like crunchy. I've
Is
been
it
eating
only like the
shit out of
fruit?
these.
Is it only like the fruit candies you could freeze dry, or can you do like a Hershey bar?
You probably wouldn't want to freeze dry a Hershey bar. Like,
What?
I just don't see the
some
consistency.
things
being
don't
good.
work, and I'll kind of go through some not so favorable like
So, like
ones I was
pickles?
like, God damn, these are terrible. But they look delicious. It's like you have to kind of be careful. I think you really have to kind of like the original candy to get the experience. I don't know. Anyway, why don't we play Jet Shows, real or fake?
Might as well.
Let me pull up the bumper. Sorry, I wasn't ready.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where's Where's it at? Where's it at? No, I have so much stuff on here now. It's you be the. Oh, never mind.
Who knew the justice system would be so glitchy, huh?
Oh, delay
So
comes as soon as we stop talking about stuff.
Right.
Or she said,
Yeah, he just gave you a shout out. That's fine. You missed it.
Huge. Yeah. Like rewind 30,
DeLorean.
40 seconds, something like that.
Just in time after Anthony's review is more like it. You just missed it.
He just missed it.
We're not going back.
"No, we're not." You just messed it, Delane. So
Okay. I'm assuming the bumper's down because it's quick.
yes,
So we're gonna play a game, kind of our regular real or fake situation, for judge shows. You guys know there are a lot of like crazy ass judge shows out there. So more than you'd think. I did not know that Steve Harvey had a judge show. Thought that was kind of weird. So I thought I'm gonna pull a bunch of these that I think are funny looking TV shows, and we'll see which ones you guys think are real and which ones that I made up.
isn't ice cream already freeze dried?
It's freezed in.
I still gotta
Give you
figure
a
out the
moment to
spacing on
peruse.
this.
It's okay. They can see him big for a minute, and then you can make me small.
Yeah. So we got Judge Jill, Miss Pat settles it, Texas Justice, Judge Jerry, Hot Bench, and Judge Jordy.
I think that's correct.
LJ said Judge Joe Brown is Steve Harvey. No, that's just
No.
ignorant.
I don't know what
That's
kind
a
of
twist.
legal authority that Steve Harvey would have.
Oh, so I gotta take you off a spotlight, and then it shows everything. The more you know, guys. All right, come back on, Stewie Stug.
Don't mind
Yeah,
if
this
I
isn't like
diddly
album
do.
covers. It's like every one of these puts the title at the bottom. So it's like, okay, well, I got to follow along.
Ben says all
Pornhub.
Pornhub, yeah.
Yes, 100%. I didn't say where the judge shows were. I just said they're judge shows.
And by the way, I just added a fucking 50-foot fucking Cat 5 cable to my Amazon cart, so hopefully this never happens again.
50-foot cable?
Yeah.
I have like the spools and the cat connector pieces. I could have just mailed it to you
Nah.
for free.
Nah. Let's see. Astronaut
Okay,
Ice Cream
Suey.
Rule says, sorry.
No, go ahead. What I was going to say too is, as you guys go through these, you have to tell me what the show is about. Like some of them do like divorce, some of them do like child support. You know, what do you think the show like concentrates?
You're gonna make
on?
me sound
Couples?
ignorant.
No, well, I mean, hey, I find that to be part of the fun, and then maybe we can find out. I don't think I make you sound that way. I think that's never mind.
Just who I am.
You
Let's
said
see.
that, not me.
Since Sewer Rugs is too busy like doing work while he's on the show, Judge Jill, I can't take that seriously, so it's probably real. Miss Pat settles it, divorce court and child support. Texas Justice. What are they doing? Taking away like wheelchair ramps from people? I can't imagine what they would do in Texas. Oil rights, maybe. Judge Jerry. It's got to be the all-around kind of judge, you know, where it's like a Judge Judy thing, where it's like there's no set standard thing going on, but it's more of like your everyday judge. I'm Judge Jerry. Judge Jerry doesn't sound intimidating. Judge Jerry sounds warm, but boy, you don't want him to feel in hot water, you know. Hot bench. I did not know that Kim Kardashian had a twin who was actually black on the right. And then, yeah, and then the one on the left, like, she's got a really nice personality, but there's something about her you don't like.
Yeah,
You know? Like, you know, she reads too much Twilight. And then Judge Jordy, it's all pink, you know. I'm not feeling it. It's like, if they had like the signing of the Declaration of Independence, but it was at a 100% gay like theater. That's what I see that is. That's like she looks
like a
this is like
burlesque show.
yeah, like a RuPaul's Law Drag Race kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
Judge RuPaul. I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
that's what I got.
Oh,
I'm with
sure.
you.
Sure.
So
So
I don't know if you actually said which ones you thought were real and which ones were fake, but
I'm gonna say Miss Pat is real, Judge Jerry is real, and unfortunately, I'm gonna say Judge Jordy is real. So
okay.
2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6.
Yeah. I'll eat it.
Okay. You want me to go?
Yes.
Because in
Or chat if
reality,
you want.
1, 3, and 4 are the fakers here. 1 is like, oh, this is a porn shoot. Might as well put Judge Jill on it and everyone will believe it. Yeah, no, I'm not buying that white background. That's boring. No one's believing that. Miss Pat, yeah, settles it. I believe that. That's hype TV all day long. Texas Justice, though, that phony, that's like Tony Robbins' little cousin or something. It doesn't work. I don't trust
Tony
it.
Robbins.
Yeah, it's like Tony Robbins' little cousin. He's like,
No,
"I'm
you're
the
so
law."
right. That's what makes it funny.
And then Judge Jerry, that's like, it's a Jerry Springer ripoff. I get it. It's in heaven. I get that. There's no judge. There's no law in heaven. I'm sorry, that doesn't count. Now, the hot bench, that's where action happens. We got 3 judges on one case. You get so many perspectives. It's hard to keep up, but that's what makes it so real and so titillating. Now, the last one, Judge Gio Ardai. Gio Ardai, whatever that one is. That's
Yeah.
like your Pink Pony Club judge. Like you said, RuPaul, this is Lady Gaga in a robe, and you're going to jail, and confetti flies when the hammer knocks. So, yeah, 1, 3, 4 fakers. 2, 5, 6, the real ones.
Okay.
And
Thank you
chat.
for your enthusiastic.
That's it.
First one in was Kuchasaurus. He says 1, 2, 3 are fake. Neil Pitt says Judge Jill is fake. Let's see. Ern says all real. Paul says, I don't know. I hate judges. LOL. Someone been to juvenile court. LJ says 1, 5, and 6 are fake. Ern says Miss Pat just did ghetto shit, I'm sure. LT says Judge Jill is fake. All the rest is real. Ern says 2 is definitely real. He loves Miss Patty. Like, Miss Pat is fucking... Ern's got a crush.
Keeping it real.
Now we know
Said it
his
like
type.
5 times. Yeah. Jay said 2, 4, 5, and 6 are real. Colorado says Jordy is a British Guido. Ern says Miss Pat used to sell crack and shit. Like, he loves Miss Pat, man. Paul Cole says made a few extra $100 today. Time for some vape orders. Oh, okay. And then Blackberry Dr. Pepper is kind of okay, says Colorado. I don't know what the fuck.
Thanks for your input.
It sucks. No, I'm drinking one. I think you saw it. It sucks. Don't get it. Hey!
Nobody liked Judge
I'm the
Jill,
one.
man. Everybody was against Judge Jill.
That
And
was
Tony
close.
Robbins' nephew.
I thought Miss
Ed-
Pat was pretty funny when I saw her. Judge Jerry's the one that got me to want to do this. I was like, did Jerry Springer really do another show? Like, fuck.
Got me good.
Well, my favorite thing is like the Texas one. Like, you're right with the Tony Robbins thing, but he looks like the kind of lawyer, if he was actually in the law, or the judge that would meet you at a Kenny Rogers Roasters. You know, to talk about your case.
While you
Just,
finish those
just-
ribs, let me tell you about the justice system. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, just bring me my regular.
So let's see. Paul Cole, when I said the thing about being juvenile court, he's like, no, all after 18. Been to jail 4 times. Ern says, excuse me, wasn't there a cowboy judge? Yeah, it was the fucking, what's his name? Chuck Norris, Texas Ranger, right?
He is the law. Yeah.
Is that a judge? I don't know.
Well, he was a
Judge
judge
and
and
jury.
executioner.
One leg, yeah. One leg was judge. The other leg was jury. These are the executioners right here.
Neil
Okay.
says, I've been arrested but never charged. Good lawyer. There you go.
Good lawyers matter. We'll get into that later.
So we can go on to the next thing of it's still the law.
It's still the law.
Oh, this is Suey.
Yeah, this is the Anthony one.
LT says Texas justice is real. Google it.
I will not.
It's not that image, I'll tell you that.
So yeah, I'll Google it. Texas Justice Show. Oh yeah, Texas Justice is a real show. I've seen this.
Really?
And they all wear cowboy hats, yeah. And the judge looks like the fucking guy from I know it's probably the worst reference for him, but the manager in Waiting.
The Deep Cut, man. It's like a 20-year-old movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about. Baldish
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always plays
okay.
like the upstrung, the high strung, high type.
He plays this fantastic character in this movie called Out Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those
know.
actors we've talked about. You know, but you don't know. Like.
Yeah. I don't know his name.
Yeah. So Texas Justice is real, but not that image. So.
I made that image, so
Yeah.
that's what the game is for. But
What are we
Cool.
doing now, Anthony? What's the next segment?
it's still the law.
Oh, please go on.
It's you.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so-
down.
It's down.
What we're doing is Sura came up with the idea just to look for some random crazy laws out there. I actually had a little bit of fun with this. I made a few slides to kind of show them off, but I'm sure Sura Rug has some ideas. You guys didn't come up with any crazy laws?
Well, I mean, I got laws, but slides.
Well, just, you know.
It's the amateur hour over here. I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
talk out loud.
It's
No
me. What would
slides.
you expect? Like, it's, you know, I tell my life through pictures.
I
So
don't
go
see
ahead.
that.
No, I want to hear at least one. Well, we
Yeah.
can do like one at a time.
Yeah, let's do one at a time. Let's
Yeah.
start it off. And I'm gonna focus in on Wisconsin.
I did find a couple too, by the way.
Okay, yeah, no. So let's just go tit for tat and all the way around the square.
Tit
So,
for tat for tit.
We're gonna start with Wisconsin because first and foremost, there's this whole margarine ban thing. It's like illegal to serve margarine at the restaurants, but that's not what I want to get into. What I want to get into is that Wisconsin still has in their statutes that there is no kissing on trains. That's right. It prohibits, Wisconsin in general prohibits kissing on trains. Now, I don't know when this came into order or why it came into law, but there's a reason, and that reason is unknown to me. But you can't kiss
Maybe-
on a
Because there was a senator somewhere whose wife cheated on him, and so he passed. Senator, and he
I'm
passed a
wondering if
law.
it was like-
No one's kissing my Nancy. You know what I mean? Like
I wonder if
that's
it
the only
was
reason
like,
why these stupid fucking laws ever get passed. Like
I pictured it like steam coal, the guy's like throwing coal into the fire, and the conductor comes back, he's like, "You need to speed up that train." And the coal guy's like, "You need to get a shovel." And he's like, "Fine, I'll kiss you." And then they're like, "Illegal." And so then they just made it a law. Like, I can't think of why else.
I
they would-
assume somebody fell from the train and died because they weren't paying attention because they were kissing.
It's like, "Oh, your kiss is so heavenly." Choo choo. And then gone.
Neil said no real time.
There's no laws about railing on the train,
Yeah.
but kissing, that's a no-go. So Wisconsin, what up with that? That's what I say. What up
LJ
with-
says, I thought Marjoram Band was like a Midwest marching band.
Verbiage.
What's up, Steve-O? Steve-O's here. He said Out Cold is a funny-ass movie. One of the funny things, and fuck you, GGRE, is no feeding pigeons in Venice, Italy. Tourists in St. Mark's Square are prohibited from feeding the pigeons to help maintain, guess what? The cleanliness and prevent animals from becoming a nuisance.
Like how you
Well,
got all
you-
high and mighty there.
You remember
Yeah.
the cleanliness.
do you remember rice at weddings? Rice at weddings?
Because it
Yes.
birds used to
Tell
eat
the
and
story.
explode.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
no, that's the story. The birds would eat it and explode. Maybe people in Italy are feeding pigeons like these olive oil, like olives, just
Olive
heavy stuff.
oil olives?
Yeah, it's in the oil and it's the olive, and then it's like, "Oh, this is so heavy. I
I'm
can't."
pretty
pigeon
stoned
it."
right now, so I was just making sure that didn't make sense to anybody else either.
No, it
so-
makes perfect sense because
Yeah.
then the olives are like thick, and then the pigeons are like, "I'm too heavy to flop." And then he's like,
So
"But
they're
there's a-
throwing olives or olive oil?
olive oil olives. It's like the olives in olive oil. Olive oil.
I don't know if that's a thing.
If it was,
Because it's
I
illegal.
object.
No.
Oh, see, you've been to Italy, Venice. There's rules,
Well,
man.
in Connecticut, pickles must bounce. So, to ensure pickles are fit for consumption, there's a law in Connecticut that states that pickles must be able to bounce.
So you could go into a Connecticut pickle store, open the jar, and drop it, and say, "Hey, what's best?" Oh my gosh!
Basically,
Wait, I kind of want to know, like, does it give a year on like when that like passed or started? I didn't want to force you into something. I was just wondering whatever you were looking at if it said that on there.
Then I want Anthony to go next.
let me see if I can find out.
He's got slides. I don't
It's
have
just-
slides.
I
don't have
can't help
slides.
myself. It's too easy.
Well,
Not
I
to.
could have done a kissing train slide.
Let's see.
No one's
In
ever going to stop you from doing more
1948,
work.
two men were for here's a law that so in 1948, two men were arrested for selling pickles that were unfit for human consumption. Discussing ways to check for good pickles, officials declared that a pickle is legitimate only if it bounces. The pickles in question did not bounce, so the two men were arrested and fined, and the pickles were destroyed.
I'm gonna take a basketball, paint it green with dots, and be like, "Here's your fucking bouncy pickle," and I'm gonna
I mean,
slam
that's what
dunk
happens
it
when you
on
buy
'em.
those pickles on the black market, kids.
Black market pickles, man. It's just
They don't
not
bounce.
consumable.
If let's see, we got a couple in chat, and I got a couple more I could share. Let's
Okay.
see. Maybe people were making out being targeted by criminals. Who knows? Let's see. There was one right here. It's illegal. This is from Ben. It's legal to sleep on top of a refrigerator outdoors in Pennsylvania. Jay says it's illegal to drive a black car in Denver on Sunday.
That's still in the statutes. Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ben says in Philly it's illegal to put pretzels in a bag. I got one for you guys. In Florida, legal parking fees towards animals must be paid. So, let's see. Once upon a time in Florida, because legal fees have to be paid for animal parking, including elephants, camels, and horses, this law took effect in the 1920s when the Ringling Circus moved its winter show operations to Florida.
okay. And no one saw fit to get rid of the law.
Yeah, Oh, there's one out like I can't remember what it's at. It's like Indiana, that like if you're I can't remember what it was. Fuck, now I lost it. But if you're named a certain thing or whatever, like it was on a TV show too, and it's a real law. I looked it up. But if your name's Ted, they throw you in the lake every year.
Oh
And they
yeah,
make fun
I've
of
seen
it on
that.
Parks and Rec. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's see. In Illinois, it's illegal for underage culinary students to drink alcohol. It's legal for underage culinary students to drink alcohol. So in 2012, it's called Sip and Spit Law, which allows culinary students under 21 years aged to legally taste by sipping and spitting alcohol beverages based on the reasoning that students need to learn how to, like, basically tell the difference between wines. So if you're just going to you can walk around basically in Illinois and just tell everyone you're a fucking sommelier and just drink wine as a teenager. Like,
Sip and spit. Sip and spit. That's the rule.
yeah.
Sip and spit.
That's what they got.
In Arizona, you're not allowed to drive in reverse on public streets.
Do I get a turn?
Oh, yeah.
Can we
sorry.
let? He's got slides.
Somebody
You're really
take
excited
over.
about this segment. I'm sorry.
This is good.
Because
I like
I found some. I looked and some stuff that I thought was good. In Alaska, it's illegal to push a moose out of a moving airplane. How'd that come about?
Someone had to do it. Someone had to do it.
These laws are put in order for a reason. It's not. It's more than a caution sign. It's more than a hey, stop ahead. It's like, hey, moose on the plane. Like, why did the moose get ejected midair? Was he poking around with his fucking?
Why was a live
antler?
moose on a plane to begin with?
Because they like elevation. They like it.
I would want to get out of Alaska any way I can. I can't judge the moose.
Yeah, he was trying to leave, and his. But who came on the plane and knocked? Do you think Tom
Could you
Cruise
imagine
flew
like
onto
having
it?
Sarah Palin in charge of you?
Oh my
It's against the law for a pawnbroker to accept an artificial limb or wheelchair as payment.
Now wait a second. I've seen some pretty tricked out wheelchairs. Okay, I've seen some with spinner rims and light ups and all sorts of fancy things to it, and they won't take that. They won't take that.
He even made a background for it.
You mean
Ern
by
says,
what?
and Ern says in Detroit it's legal to let pigs run loose unless they have a ring in their nose.
Wait, okay. Was that literal?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Very specific.
I guess maybe that's how you catch them. I wasn't sure. GGRE says placing a postage stamp upside down is treason. Apparently, I think
Yeah.
he's in Canada.
Those are, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are all those fanatical kind of
right?
U.S. laws that are still in effect.
Oh yeah.
This was just for fun. Like I wasn't trying to like change the world here.
Well, my
'Cause this was
favorite
my-
one. Yeah. Sorry.
This was my favorite one of the bunch. Arizona, you can't have a donkey sleeping in your bathtub after 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
jeez.
And this was because this, like, I read the rest of this. Long story short, the guy had a donkey sleeping in his bathtub. There was a flash flood, and it took it like downriver, and it took the whole town or something to save the fucking thing. So I'm sure it was like a next day law, like you can't have donkeys sleeping in your fucking bathtub. All right, at least till after 7 p.m. You know, it's like fuck. What's with the 7 p.m.? What would
That's
I don't
probably back. Would this say 1924? That's why they didn't have electricity. You went to bed when the sun went down. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you woke up with the sunrise too, after 7 p.m. Like that's when the children's asleeping. You can't do that. Hey, what
Yeah.
about the rule, Vandal, in Vegas? I'm talking about camel commuting. You can't commute via camel in Vegas?
there's only been one camel I've ever seen in near Vegas. Wasn't even in Vegas. It was
During
called
the
Clyde the Camel. And
Mhm.
so if you take the 15 freeway towards Arizona, where you can cut into like Utah, this is how you get to like
And-
St.
yeah.
George. You cut through
Yeah.
a little corner of Arizona, and it's like near Mawapa, the tribal place where like you can go buy illegal fireworks and shit. But it wasn't on that land quite yet. It was like one of the what's this Sinclair. Like there was a Sinclair gas station, the big dinosaur. You know, they had the big
yeah.
brontosaurus. So back in the 90s, my grandparents, they had to own some property in Utah. And we would have to take that way to go there. So we'd stop every so often. And there's Clyde the Camel at the gas station in the middle of fucking nowhere around this one patch of trees, you know, in this gas station. And it was like people that look like my grandma and grandpa that owned it. So anyways, you can go there and you pay a quarter and you get to go look at a fucking camel. And I never thought it was that cool, but we'd stop every time. So back in the day, my oldest sister, Daphne, she used to fucking hate this camel because one time it fucking like, you know, kicked dirt at her. So every time we'd go, like they give you the stuff to feed it and you gotta hold your hand flat, you know, and eats all the shit out of your hand.
Yeah.
So one time my sister Daphne was like, we were going, and she's older than me. So I was probably like 6, but she was probably like 17, 18 around that time. She's at least 10 years older than me. I don't remember exactly. Anyways, we go to feed the camels, right? And so this is the one time I didn't ever care. I never went. I usually just went and like kicked rocks and threw rocks at the one dumpster within 300 miles. So anyways, this one time I was like, fine, I'll go feed Clyde the camel. You know, so anyways, they go up and I feed him and he's doing the fucking thing on my hand. Okay, cool, whatever. So Daphne goes up and camels must be like fucking crows. I swear to fucking God, that camel remembered her. Because every time it came, it kicked fucking dirt at her. Like every fucking time.
Wow.
Hated her. And she hated
Something
it.
about her smell or something just wasn't right with him.
Yeah, she was a ripe lady. Anyways, so she goes to go feed it, right? And so like this after I'm feeding, I'm just standing there, you know, watching and stuff. And she's like, fuck, Chris, fuck this camel. I'm like, okay, I'm like yeah, you told that camel, you know. And so the camel comes up to the thing, goes to get it, and she grabs her hand, closes it, and pulls the thing out of the fucking, you know, the fence. So the camel couldn't get any. And I've never seen a camel say like without its any animal will say this fucking bitch. It looked at everyone around and then went spit a fucking loogie the size of a fucking pan pizza in her face. And like it was like the movies, like the alien goop and all that stuff. And she started screaming and crying. And after that, I was like, "That's the coolest fucking camel I've ever seen." That's why
Now
it's
I
called
like
camel
this camel.
cigarettes.
Now I like this camel. Yeah.
Nice.
But you can't legally commute via camel in Vegas. Also, there's a street in Vegas, one specific street, where if you want a hula hoop, you need a permit. I'm talking Fremont Street. If you go to Fremont, you need a permit to hula hoop. How crowded is Fremont? People are
Super
ziplining.
fucking crowded.
But it's like Tokyo in one spot. You go 6 blocks away, no one's there. There you can hula hoop. But on Fremont, you need a permit to freaking hula
I
hoop.
bet those permits were pretty cheap in 2020.
Oh my goodness.
Back then,
when there
yeah.
was space,
Oh, they
when
didn't
there
even
was
let anyone
space.
out there.
Yeah.
Well,
But
no,
my last.
the joke is everybody had to stay 6 feet apart so
Yeah.
you could hula hoop and not.
You had space too. Yeah, yeah. There was a
I
clause
love it
there.
when you explain it. No.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
And the last one I've got is in Louisiana, it's illegal to send someone a surprise pizza. So, but sending someone an unprompted pizza is actually considered harassment by state law in Louisiana. And triple check your address because even if you accidentally send it to someone, you will be paying a $500 fine for sending someone else a pizza that they didn't
Wow.
order.
They got rules.
Yeah.
Anthony, you got a last one?
I wonder if that has to do with DoorDash. No, I spent my 3 already.
Oh, can
But
I do one?
I usually come early anyway, so that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I do mine then?
Yeah, rock and roll.
I mean, I got a couple more I could do. I mean,
Please.
Cups already talked about black cars in Denver, which is like maybe like a funeral recession thing. I don't know. But you're not allowed to put your couch on your porch in Boulder, Colorado, because they uphold a standard. All right. Illegal
Boulder's
couch
nice.
sitting. Boulder's not nice. It wants to be nice. It's
I love Boulder. That's my favorite part of Arizona.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
Colorado.
Yeah, because
Good.
we like the dirty.
it's not dirty. It's
It was-
very
it's-
high
But that's not
priced.
what I don't mean like in cleanliness. I just mean in like the class of people. It's
So
gritty.
Boulder is expensive. They forced out all the like
Oh well.
dirty class people. If you want to buy a soda in Boulder, guess what? There's a sugar tax fee they add on top of each soda pop.
It's mini
Boulder's
California in
changed.
Boulder, but it's really nice.
They
Like,
have
Boulder
I
got
like
a
haven't been in a
job
long
and a college
time, but-
degree.
they have like
Yeah.
3 fast food restaurants in Boulder, and they're like, "Why did you come to this restaurant? Get out of here! I don't."
And they
wanna
have
work
a really nice liquor store.
Yeah, they do. Hey, but most importantly, this is
You're not
for
eating, you got to be drinking.
for Snorkelius, who's not here. There is a law in Oregon where it is illegal to whistle underwater. So just let that sink in. There's a law in Oregon where it's illegal to whistle underwater. Once again, moose out of a plane, whistling underwater. How can you prove anything anymore? You know, this whole court is out of order. It's
I
illegal.
think that maybe the people that matriculate to that part of the country maybe need a law like that to remind them not to do something that would cause them to drown.
How loud can you whistle underwater? Let me prove it. Who's
Yeah.
doing
Are
this?
you guys blowout whistlers or breathe in whistlers?
I'm both actually.
I can
but
do.
I can't
both,
do. I
yeah.
can only breathe in whistle. I can't.
Can you do the finger thing?
Oh. Oh,
With the.
Oh.
No. Can you do the fold tongue one? The fold your tongue. and-
no! I never figured that
Oh.
out. I can never.
Yeah,
do
I
that.
could do that one. I can't do this one, but I can do this one. And I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I can do that one. Can you do the
I wonder if
hand
that's
one?
like a certain kind of
Whistle?
person because my dad could do that because that's how I knew to come home.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a loud one.
Like I don't know. You get tuned into that.
Now,
Quick
if your
when
dad
you
was
don't.
doing that underwater in Oregon when you were a kid, he would have been arrested. Did you know that?
So if you do it underwater,
I
does
did.
the bubble come up with the whistle sound?
So how
That-
does the
let us
court
know.
case for that go? How do you prove that?
Audio files.
Audio files of an underwater whistle.
There you go.
Okay.
You can hear
before
whales
we
under.
Move on. I've got some in chat we can share.
mean-
It's apparently illegal to sell cars. Dealerships to sell cars on Sundays in Colorado, says Jay. Let's see. There's
That happens
one
in
right
a lot
here.
of states.
It's a lot of the
places.
Christianity law, like holdovers
Yeah.
and stuff like that. If you're not going to church, you're not doing anything. Let's see. Ern says these are both in Michigan. It's illegal to cut your hair if you aren't a licensed to cut hair if you're not a licensed barber, cosmetologist in training, or a family member of one. Also, seducing an unmarried woman is a felony that can land you 5 years in prison or a $2,500 fine. And then the second one, he said, in Harper Woods, it's illegal to have more than 3 cats or dogs in any combination. It's also illegal to color birds and sell them as other birds. Fuck them pigeons.
You can claim the first 3 children. After that, you're on your own. Is that what happened? Where was
guess
that?
so.
China?
No.
Where was
that
it?
was Michigan. God.
You'd avoid a lot of cat ladies that way, living in your area. Because
Yeah.
I mean, that's a quick thing to figure out.
Yeah. LT says detonating a nuclear device within Chico city limits results in a $500 fine.
But that's it in Chico. That's right.
Yeah.
That one makes sense. That's Chico. So if you put together a nuclear bomb in Chico, you might be fined $500. That's it. That's all you got. It's like, oh, here's $500. I
Some
got a bomb.
SpongeBob shit, dude. Like,
Dude.
Ern says couples in Detroit are banned from making love in an automobile unless the act takes place while the vehicle is parked on the couple's own property. GGRE says, who sucks to whistle? That's just gay. Go blow it on your pigeon friends, buddy. Let's see. Jay says I can also whistle with a mouthful of crackers.
Out
So
of
you
context,
went with
that
you went,
comment would have sounded
Yeah.
like you were crazy.
you
Go
went to
blow it on
the
your
caves.
chicken. What did you say? Go blow it on your pigeon something?
Who cares? Pigeon friends. I could do a mouthful of chips right now and see about whistling, but I'm not going to. They're
And
delicious.
then yeah. Let's see. I can also whistle with a mouthful of crackers, says Jay. So he's been going to the caves with Sewer Rug, apparently.
There's no cracker whistling in the caves. I don't know what that means, but it's not
Whistling,
happening.
Come on.
And then Ern, this is the last one I'll shout out, is Grand Haven, Michigan. It's legal to throw an abandoned hoop skirt and into any street sidewalk with a penalty of $5 per offense.
Hoop skirts. Loitering hoop skirts everywhere. Now, what if you had a donkey in a bathtub at 7:05 in a hoop skirt whistling under the bathtub water? Who's going to jail?
Have a
That's
good
what
night,
I-
Mike T.
The owner.
Mike T, later, man. He's already
Because that
gone.
man is crazy.
Unless you're a camel. What if you're a camel that owns a donkey inside of a bathtub at a whistle
Camel that
cracker
owns a
competition?
donkey. And that's where we are tonight on the Friday
Man.
Fallout.
We're-
Completely off the rails onto
Case
the
law.
bus lane.
Case law. This is bird law, maritime law. All right,
Yeah.
boat law.
Save it, gentlemen.
Yeah. All right.
In my chambers.
Feel like Santa Claus. My nose is so red. I got a little tan today. It's good. It's good.
All right, we're gonna play our judge show, live action judge show, and let's do it.
All right. Bumpers down.
Very
What's
cool.
up, V8?
So,
Happy birthday. I waited till you were here, you ugly bitch.
yeah, happy birthday, V8.
V8.
Yeah. Here, clap sounds. Yay. Happy birthday.
How many
V8.
centuries has it been?
He's as old as he is tall. So 2'7".
We're all
Okay.
sovereign citizens now.
So I just did this because I wanted to. That's all it is.
Sure.
But I thought it'd be fun. So we're gonna play a little game show. The chat gets to be the jury. You get to tell me at the end of this what you think as far as our participants go here, as whether they are the guilty party or the not guilty party. You'll kind of figure this out as we go. I'm going to show you some facts of the case. Surug is going to be the prosecuting attorney, and Vandal is going to be the defense attorney. They're going to argue their case to you, the jury, and whichever person that you think or whoever needs to be guilty, you let us know, and we're just going to see how this goes. I watched way too much Law and Order when I was on vacation. Sorry, guys. It's just the leftovers from that. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys some slides real quick of just the facts of the case, and we'll kind of get on with this.
Surug really got the shirt. I forgot till last night.
All right, so this is the case of the missing truffle pig. This is just a throwback from something else, but I'm going to use it for this because I thought it'd be fun. The person who is accused of this horrible crime is Sean Bean, the owner of Bean's Butcher Shop. He was seen with the missing pig on the day it disappeared, had extra pig meat he said he bought from the black market. Sean says he is not guilty. So there were other suspects, Dr. Douglas Simon, Angus Wellborn, and Albert Simon. The three were the only other people that saw the missing pig on the day of its disappearance. And Albert Simon's the owner of a local truffle farm. Wow, I can't read it that small.
Mr. Wellborn is a pack-a-day smoker, currently recovering from heart surgery.
And if convicted, Sean Bean will serve 6 years in prison and pay a $10,000 fine. I'm going to go ahead and let Sewer Rug go first as the prosecuting attorney and plead your case.
Okay. I'm going to plead my case. I'm going to do this just a second here. There we go. So let me get started. Just be a second. Here we are. We are in a courtroom. How about that? Look, I suited up for this because I care about fucking justice and getting Sean out of here. So let me start this by saying, I'm going to go over here. Just be a second. A little further. There we go. That's better. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and those who are sleeping in chat right now, I stand before you today not just for justice, but for justice wrapped in bacon. Because somewhere out there beneath the pork-scented moonlight lies the memory of a sweet, snuffling, truffle-sniffing angel named Miss Snuffles. And what did she deserve? What did she do to deserve this fate? She believed in humanity. She believed in truffles. And she believed she could trust a butcher named Sean Bean. But Sean Bean wasn't the friend she snorted he was. He claims he just happened to acquire an abundance of illegal pig meat. Really, Sean? What was the name of this black market dealer? Squealium the smuggler? Don't insult this courtroom with your hogwash. And let's not ignore the boring details left out. He was last seen with the pig. He had access to butchering tools. And suddenly, his shop is selling so much pulled pork, people are calling it a truffle shuffle special? Coincidence? That smells like bull hog. Let's trot on over to the witnesses. Albert Simon, truffle farmer. Truffles and pigs go together like lies and Sean Bean. Dr. Douglas Simon, a man with surgeon's hands and a suspicious lack of alibi. And Angus Wellborn, a man whose arteries are filled with Marlboros and whose soul reeks of embalming fluid. Why would a funeral director invest in truffles unless he had buried something beneath them? These three sowed the seeds of deceit, but Sean brought the cleaver to the garden party. Folks, this isn't just a case of a missing pig. This is a pork-tastrophe. This is a ham-demic. I'd like to show you something. This court is hog-tied with emotion. We're wallowing in bacon-scented betrayal. And if we don't act now, then justice, true, sweet justice, will never escape the sty. Ladies and gentlemen, if it oinks like a lie, squeals like a cover-up, and has more holes than Sean's alibi, it's guilty. Do the right thing. Convict the man. Because Miss Snuffles didn't just disappear. She was butchered, barbecued, and betrayed. Let's make sure Sean Bean is the only one bringing home the bacon from prison. Bringing my curtain with me. Thank you, and may Miss Snuffles forever be remembered as a true Oink Squad shuffler.
Thank you, Mr. Rugg. Do we need to take a recess for lunch so we can come back, or are you ready to give your closing argument?
Your Honor, if I may. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you may have been fed some delicious lies just now. Look at the way he had to present these facts to you, at least what he calls facts. He had to use fanciful names. He had to come up with this whole story. Fun fact, if you paid attention during his testimony and deposition, the screen moved. If that was the picture of the real pig, why would it move like that? The pig's dead. How did he get a picture of it? This pig's never been seen before this day, or hasn't been seen after. And you're going to tell me that Angus Wellborn, who was perfectly healthy, who went out of his way to make sure that he was doing things physically fit, had a magical heart attack on this day, but was recovering in the hospital? But when you pay close attention to his reports, you'll notice that there's grease under his fingernails. Now, what also has grease, I might ask you? Besides sewer rug's hair? Pig meat and bacon. Bacon has a lot of grease. Now, my client, Sean Bon, or Bean, if you will, he works in a deli. Sure. He's been serving this community for over 30 years with delicacies such as meat that come from moo-moos and also pigs. But this pig was not on the menu that day because he conspired with the truffle hunter himself, Mr. Albert Simon. Now, if you look in the picture, he calls himself a truffle hunter, and that's his excuse for not wanting to hurt the pig, so that the pig could find his truffles. But why would he need to sniff the truffle if the pig was there to do it? There's a photo of him sniffing the truffle, and when you zoom in closely, there's a chunk of corn in that truffle. Now you tell me, have you ever seen a corny truffle? I have not. This isn't Halloween, but everyone here seems to be wearing a costume and is faking what's going on. Now, if you look very closely, he's sweating. Look at him going through his notes. Look at how shiny his forehead is. Shinier than the backside of that pig when it was brutally attacked and murdered by his client. He wore a blue shirt today. The dress code was black shirts. Can you believe it?
Your Honor, it's purple for the record.
Anyways.
So it's yeah, thank you, Mr. Vandal, for that wonderful defense and quite convincing defense of your client. But this is going to go to the jury. So, Vandal, what's the consensus out there?
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that the defense attorney did not know his client's name.
I pronounced it in the proper way, Your Honor.
His
I like the
client's
record
name
to
was
show that.
Sean Bean. So
Sean Bon, if you will.
Sean Bond, if you will. No relation.
And also just want to make sure that everyone knows prosecution also rhymes with prosecco, which is a type of wine, but I mean the meat. And then here's the meat. They asked for the
Prosciutto.
meat. Here's the meat of the case.
It's prosciutto.
His client brutally, savagely attacked this pig. He's coming out here just feeding you this horse crap. This is not real bacon he's giving you, my friends. This is Beyond Meat.
I am the prosecution.
I was
I
going to
have
say,
no
he
client.
doesn't have a client.
My client is the truth.
Ladies and
Justice
gentlemen of the jury.
and the balance of the way things go. And my truth was filled and wrapped in bacon sauce. Yours,
If he was
hogwash.
telling the truth, why would he have to be so animated here? Sounds like someone's got the meat sweats.
I do not. Nice try. Let's see what the jury has to say. Jury, please let us know. Would you find Sean Bean guilty of 6 years in prison and $10,000 fine? Or you going to let him slide like he...
And then while Chad is deciding this, the jury is deciding this, let me play this audio recording of the prosecutor himself.
I love bacon. Bacon's so good. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Bacon, shake it, bake. No, bacon.
You don't
bake,
have a
bacon,
client.
bacon.
Scratch that from the record. Scratch that from the record. That is not a true recording. Take that away.
I'll authenticate it. I think it's correct.
False.
So, if we're going off what everybody said at first, the guy smelling the poop is guilty. It says Condosaurus, says Jay. Let's see. V8 says jokes on the court. The pig is in Vandal's sex dungeon. LJ says, is Mr. Bean a white? I'm not sure why that matters.
Doesn't matter.
Ern says they won't let me on a jury, so I guess he's our stenographer. Let's see. LJ says guilty next. Condosaurus said guilty for the pig shit smelling guy. DGRE says yep with his pigeons. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. Condosaurus says I have a degree in administration of justice. Guilty, guilty, guilty next. Or it says Fimps Nuts is guilty for the pig puns.
What the?
LJ says I think I would play D&D if Sui was DM and I was smashed. So you have to be drunk to believe his lies, people.
Only on a train.
LJ says be done already, Jesus Christ, blind bastard.
It was pretty good.
Let's see.
It sounds like
VA
there's
says
more guilties
objection.
than there is innocent for
Yeah.
Sean Bean.
Let him slide on the bacon grease, says Darren.
I say he's guilty. What's it?
V8
What, it
says
sounds like-
LJ's having a hard time dealing with his white privilege lately. Delane says, call the judge in crime shows I make him watch, and he is this terrible. Oh no, I didn't even know what the case was, but Sean is guilty. Consort says guilty.
Yes.
V8 says prosecutors do have a client, and her name is Lady Justice.
Thank you.
And then yeah,
And she is blind.
that's
I
fine.
love the mix.
I don't mind losing this case.
I
'Cause
rest
hate
my case.
Sean.
All right,
I hate
wow.
Sean. I killed the pig.
Sorry,
We all
Sean
just
Bean,
wanted him
going to
to
prison,
jail.
huh?
We all just wanted him in prison. It
All
was a
right.
ploy. Yeah. I actually paid Vandal so we could get him in prison.
I honestly wasn't sure how long each one of those talking segments was going to go, and that's all the stuff I have prepped for the show.
Well, here's the
So-
thing. Would you rather hire us as your lawyers or Amber Heard's?
Oh,
I make a pretty convincing case.
Amber, who?
I haven't.
Amber Turd?
I haven't.
I know who you meant. I'm just. I'm not explaining him anymore.
They're so much fun when you do though.
I hate myself for doing it. I really do.
I
It's not
named
funny
the
if you have to
pig.
explain it.
Okay. You want to know how far I went? I named the fucking pig. How about that?
You did. I appreciate the effort that you went into. I actually thought maybe somebody would go the route because I gave the surgeon and the guy in the hospital that he needed a pig valve because if he was a pack-a-day smoker, he wouldn't get any kind of transplant. So they killed the pig for the pig
He
valve.
set you up, Vandal.
And he was a funeral director, so you could cremate the rest of the pig and leave no trace of.
I asked you if I
But
had
I-
homework, and you said
like
no.
I said, watched too much Law and Order. You know, that was my big plan. But no, you guys did great. That went so much better than I thought it was going to go. So I thought Ben would be like, I think he's guilty too.
I think V8 was talking about.
at the end of the segment. I'm like, damn.
I think V8 was talking about Sean's defense or something.
Is it good offense? Yeah, delayed for real. Yeah, Casey Anthony's lawyer on speed dial.
Yeah. Well, to fill up some time, I do have a couple of funny cases that we could talk about. I pulled up.
Oh yeah, rock and roll.
Please.
Number 5 is monkey versus photographer. PETA. We all know what PETA is.
Yes.
What does it stand for?
Organization. Pets Ethical Treatments of America or some shit. I don't know.
Fuck yeah. Good poll, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. So take PETA, an organization known for its rational responses, heavily implied sarcasm. Take the biscuit with this lawsuit. They sued a photographer on behalf of a monkey. The monkey had taken a selfie using the photographer's camera, which PETA believed it should enjoy copyright protection. We're sure it would have been intellectually fun to argue whether or not a monkey can possibly enjoy copyright protection. However, the internet is already full of selfies. Perhaps we shouldn't be encouraging animals to join in. Ducks might bring back the duck face after all. Daniel Dukes was a man with a plan to swim with a killer whale. Unfortunately, after sneaking into SeaWorld one night, his plan came into fruition. Inevitably, Tillicum, Till I Come, that's the name of the whale.
I'll wait.
The
I'll wait.
killer whale followed through the
Yeah.
promise of his name, and Daniel ended up sleeping with the fishes. See what you know. Anyways,
What?
the parents of Mr. Dukes went on to sue SeaWorld, saying that it was a contention that SeaWorld had made killer whales seem too friendly by pushing plus toy versions of them.
Well, and they named him Killer. Like, how sweet is that? You know, like.
Yeah,
fuck.
Did they use like the teddy bear defense?
I don't know what
What's
that
that?
is.
Please. Judge, please go on.
Nope. You two guys told me to quit explaining the jokes, so I'm not explaining.
No.
the jokes
I'm not
anymore.
plush on this. What?
Oh,
What in
God.
this? What are you stuffing into
You
us?
really want me to tell you?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
curious.
Well, you said that they made them too cute for that. So somebody would want to interact with the whale because they made the plush toys, so that a teddy bear would be like wanting to interact with a grizzly bear because there's a plush. You guys are
Oh,
fucking-
Teddy bear defense.
Wow, that
okay.
took, like,
no,
a year to
hey.
get to.
Mm.
Yeah.
That
What's up,
leads
Dr. Chaos?
to the Cabbage Patch Kids story. That's a fucking sad one, man. Don't make me get into that. All right, what else we got, Vandal?
In the Netherlands, it can always be almost guaranteed that's raining outside from no matter what time of the year it is, right? So, weather forecasters in Israel, however, need to keep an eye on their predictions. A woman successfully sued a weather station for $1,000 after an inaccurate prediction led to her catching the cold. According to her, the plaintiff, she dressed light after seeing the prediction of good weather, led her to getting the flu, missing a week of work, and spending considerable amount of money on medication. Dayquil, NyQuil, I guess. And so they gave her $1,000 settlement because the news was the weather was predicted wrong.
$1,000. I mean, but still, yeah.
$1,000 is $1,000. Yeah.
Hey man.
For a cold.
Number 2 on this list is dangerous breasts. Breasts. A man visits a nude bar. In this incident, it ended up in court. In 1996, a man named Paul Shimkonis sued his local topless bar, claiming that a dancer's breasts had given him whiplash. He described the breasts as cement blocks, which caused him physical and mental anguish. He requested $15,000 in damages, but was denied by the judge.
No.
15,000 in whiplash damages?
Yeah.
I know they stuff them with silicone, but what kind of stuffing?
I mean,
do you
I've hit
think
some
really-
hard ones in strip clubs before, though. I mean, that's not so out of whack, but it just seems like a ambulance chasing kind of bullshit.
When you're in the midst of the whiplash, are you like, I consent to this, or is it?
Yeah,
like,
it's not. There's unpleasant. I don't know if Vandal's ever had to experience that, but we
What?
don't all look like Vandal.
yeah,
Unpleasant dances.
it's
with-
aggressive.
I thought I told you guys
They're
about that a couple of years ago.
Well, yeah, but I
hurting
mean, I like on a regular basis, like
Oh no.
Yeah.
I for a long time, and I don't think this counts quite necessarily in context, but for a long time, bigger black women loved me. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just like that whole Norbit thing or something, Norbit, whatever it is. But back when I was like a scrawny white guy, big black women love me, and I love big black women. They're hilarious. Not like
Okay.
that. And so I remember this was in high school. There was this one that would always like follow me around, share hot Cheetos with me, and I'd always be cool with her, and stuff like that. So, anyways, one day we had a movie thing in school, and this is back when I was in Pahrump. So, like, there was a lot of movie days after I got, put in special ed. I told you guys that story before.
you could have been kidnapped for some hot Cheetos. It sounds like you bring those.
Yeah.
up
So
often.
I brought some in to share. Actually, it's funny you say that, with her or whatever. And then I guess she took that as I like you and tried to physically attack my face while the lights were out during class. So I don't know if that
Damn.
counts as the same thing as a strip club dance. But when I refused her advances, she beat the crap out of me.
That's aggression. That's love to the deepest
That would be some
level.
fun spousal abuse things.
Hey,
for
how
sure.
did
Yeah.
Steve-O describe that case? I'm just trying. I can't word it.
Let's see. I can't see it. Precious.
Precious.
Yeah.
What up, Duchess? Duchess is here. So is Ryan.
So
Right.
here's a court case. It's the case of the hairy hand. A young man named George had surgery to correct an ugly scar on his hand. The surgeon grafted skin from his chest onto his hand, except George had a hairy chest. And so now he had a hairy hand. George sued the surgeon and was awarded the difference in value between a 100% good hand and a hairy hand.
What percentage is a hairy hand?
What
I mean, it
part of the
squeezes.
hand? The top of the hand or the palm of the hand?
But see, here's the thing.
So
Top of
that
the
would
hand,
make a big difference. I mean, to some guys,
the pleasure, though, I gotta imagine, it's haired for your pleasure. You know what I mean? Like,
or not.
You have to condition
Yeah.
your hand at that point. That's ridiculous.
I mean, you just shave it, but
We'll come
the
back.
cost of razors over a lifetime to shave this patch of hair. Surgeon's just trying to do a good job.
Unbelievable.
Why'd you need the patch on your hand?
Where could you have? Where else could you
Started
have
with a
gotten the
good
skin
one.
from?
What'd you do to it?
Where else would there be enough skin for a human hand that isn't haired? I guess my forehead would be perfect for my hand if I lost, but then I would have no forehead.
Yeah.
There's facts going on here. There's all sorts of interesting things going on. That's all I gotta say.
so, one last one I got for you guys.
Do text you, Duchess, and this is Fawn cheesecake right here. That just made this liquid. It's good.
Let's
Good.
see. And so this is from 2023. Crocs in the case of the shrinking shoes. The popular shoe brand Crocs, which faced legal action for allegedly selling shoes that shrink when exposed to heat. Crocs responded to the lawsuit explaining that it would have been a strange business strategy in today's competitive market. So they tried to sue somebody because then when it got hot, they fucking shrink, I guess. And then,
Not true.
Like rubber. Yeah. Wow.
They're
Yeah.
not rubber. They don't shrink.
I'm sure they're perfect.
False.
And then let's see.
Size croc are you, Anthony?
I wouldn't know.
All right. We'll talk.
Burger King, and then Burger King, this is one of the funnier ones. I think we talked about this before. Burger King found itself in the lawsuit claiming that their Whoppers were smaller than what was pictured in the advertisements. While we all know, blah, blah. So this guy tried to sue Burger King because the picture of the Burger King Whopper was a lot more bigger on the side of a fucking store
Yeah.
than what he actually received, and tried to sue them for millions of dollars, and he got laughed out of court.
Was he expecting them to walk out with like this much Whopper and was like, "Here's
If
your
I was his
set"?
lawyer, I would be like, when I put this on the table, do you feel whopped? And then I get kicked out for being racist, you know.
Do you remember that
and I was
Super
thinking
Bowl?
some type of like, I love America. This big burger for only 99 cents.
I
You
fly
know, it's
here,
like-
and what do I get? A
Yeah.
handful of burger. Do you remember the Super Bowl commercial though, where the guy was like, "I'd love to try the Whopper. I just got these tiny hands." Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I love old commercials.
Oh, I love that one.
And then there's one more. I'm sure we've all seen this one before. I think we've actually talked about it on here, but let's see.
Oh, that's a good one, V8. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
What happened?
The boob exploded on an airplane.
You have to loosen the guitar strings before putting it on the plane, or else it will expand in the air.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what
in
that has to do with it, but okay.
That's how you travel with the guitar.
1999, there was a case, Leonard versus PepsiCo. I think we talked about this before. But
Okay.
American case law and advertising and contract, PepsiCo's promotion allowed customers to redeem Pepsi points for merchandise. So it's like the Marlboro Club and shit like that. You buy enough Pepsis,
Yeah.
you get shit out of like the catalog, right? So in a commercial, it offered a Harrier jet for 7 million points, which would have
Yeah.
been unfathomable for someone to drink or purchase that much Pepsi, right? To get these many points. So
Yeah.
anyways, this guy, John Leonard, thought it wasn't fake, and then he amassed 7 million of these PepsiCo points. He sued,
Yeah.
claiming it was a binding contract, but the court sided with Pepsi. The court ruled that no reasonable person would have seen the ad as a serious offer. And so the advertisements were not binding except where there is clarity and specificity. So like in, those fine notes and stuff like that. So he went on to try and sue them for the Harrier jet that he saw in the commercial to receive a fucking military aircraft. But he went and he spent, and here's my thing, like, don't get me wrong, like, he went out of his way to spend that much money, but I feel like maybe Pepsi should have compensated him with something because like, that's 7 million points. That's a lot of fucking money that he put into their company. You know what I mean? Obviously,
Yeah,
you're not going to get a Harrier jet, but
I actually, there's a whole documentary about this that's really good. And obviously you probably haven't seen it. If you have, you know a lot about it, or you just read it all from that thing. But yeah, it's an amazing story. The deal was that he wanted to use it for like rentals for like events and stuff like that. And he thought he could recoup,
His money.
a pretty good living out of it.
Yeah,
And
everything that he spent on Pepsi products. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, he was buying them from everywhere he could get them from. It's a cool story. If you have an opportunity, I think the name of it is "Hey Pepsi, Where's My Jet?"
I think I've seen it on YouTube actually. I do
Yeah,
a lot of
it's-
background sound stuff on YouTube.
I want to say I see it on one of those cheap ad things like Tubi or Pluto or something. But
Yeah.
could be somewhere
V8
else.
says in the chat, Liquid Death had a promotion last year giving away a MiG jet, and they referenced the Pepsi case in the ads.
Yeah, it's like don't
Right.
try it.
Yeah. And then one of the funny ones I'm sure we all know is the Wendy's one, where they claim to have found a finger, right? Inside the chili. And this actually went on for a while, and a lot of people, it did do damage to Wendy's image for a long time because it's a pretty, like, whatever. Like back then, we didn't have the conspiracies we have now. So back then, it's like the whole rumor about Marilyn Manson removing a rib to S his own D, and all
Yeah.
that stuff. It's just spread like wildfire. But it's funny because if I remember correctly, with that case, they were like, "Oh yeah, they found this finger was in it. Like it's proven, like blah blah blah." I think it was either the brother or the cousin of the person that brought the suit actually lost their finger in like a factory job that they did, and it was documented, right? But like because this person wasn't named in the lawsuit, it didn't come to light for a long time, and so they were looking like they were going to win this case. And then they, did a little bit more deeper digging. They found out that the girl's cousin or whatever it was actually cut their finger off at work. They saved it and then used it and put it in the chili to try and sue somebody, like try and sue Wendy's.
God, if that's
over it.
really true, that's so nasty.
Yeah.
Dedication, man. There was a lady that claimed that she got like fucked up neurologically from getting vaccines, where she couldn't walk forward. If she tried to walk forward, she would just fall apart and couldn't move. But if she turned around and walked backwards, she was a-okay. She made the news. It became a big hype thing. They took it to court. Doctors proved instantly that she was like making it up. But it was during the whole like vaccines cause autism. Jenny McCarthy wrote a book, like is it so like people try to get away with things,
Yeah.
Let them sneak it in. Let them sneak
And the
it in.
key point from this is don't take advice from someone that wrote a book that can't read a book. You know what I mean? Like,
I was just thinking of that something. I was, the Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire. I was like, Jenny McCarthy wrote a book. Sounds like a line from that song.
Jim McCarthy wrote a book. Now
'Cause
look
it's
at
like-
all this cook. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
and then let's see. There was one in here in chat from V8. Haven't heard this one, but apparently he said, "What about the chick who had her titty explode in a plane after a boob job?" Could you imagine?
Pressure in the cabin, man. You'd have to
Yeah.
sit through the whole ride. You think a baby crying during a plane ride's bad? Imagine a one-boobed woman. Just that would be
I think
bad.
they call that a flat tire.
Flat tire. Sorry.
Industry term.
Deflate gate. It's one of those. What are you gonna do?
And then V8 says he had a buddy that sued, that made a living suing for accessibility disabled act lawsuits. He'd sue places if the bathroom stalls were the wrong size and sinks were the wrong height. And here's the funny thing. If like, even nowadays, I can't say like now, I haven't helped do construction for a while, but I used to help like Dylan's dad do some jobs and stuff like that in like San Francisco. Like they're very strict on that shit, right?
ADA
So,
compliant. Yep.
But I will guarantee you that like 90% of the places you go are not ADA compliant. Just no one pays attention.
Yeah.
Because most they have to offer a sink that I think is like 2.5 feet tall for people in wheelchairs. Tell me when the last time you went in a place that had a sink that low. You know what I mean? And that's the whole reason why you have shorter urinals in bathrooms. It's not for short people. It's not for you know what I mean? It's not for kids. It's for people in like wheelchairs or disabled, But yeah.
Now, have you ever used the handicap stall in the bathroom but the small stall next to it was open, but you use the handicap stall and then you hear someone jiggle the handle? Has that ever
You
happened
mean
to
the
you?
Coke room?
No.
The Coke room? Yeah. No. And it, oh man, it's just a guilty pleasure, You're like, I got all this room for activities in here. And the guy's like, can I get in? And you see the wheels and you're like, I'm just going to hop over the top.
I used to
There you
do
go.
that when I worked at Home Depot years
It's like,
ago.
no,
I'd
I'm
always
changing my
use-
baby in here.
I'd use the handicap bathroom in the Home Depot because it's a single-use bathroom, right? And every other, like, we had 4 bathrooms, and then the one single one for, like, disabled people or handicapable people, whatever you want to call, and stuff like that. But that would be my spot to go shit because Home Depot is fucking gross. It's 90% fucking construction workers coming in, shitting on the toilet seats, shitting, pissing all over everything, So I go in there, and I would sometimes, like, it had a very powerful exhaust fan. And this is back when I smoked cigarettes, so I'd smoke cigarettes in there on my breaks. Because it was in Vegas, we get up to 120 degrees in summer. Ain't no fucking way I'm gonna go stand next to a fucking ficus and smoke a cigarette. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going outside. So, anyways, I was in there one day and I was smoking a Camel Crush. I was in there. Someone started banging on the door. We don't really get too many people, at least at that time when I worked at that store, that were disabled that would need to use the bathroom with like wheelchairs and stuff. I would say probably I saw 4 people, and I worked there for a few years, come in a wheelchair. So I never thought anything of it. So one day I'm in there, and I'm on a break, smoking a cigarette, chilling inside there. The door, I'm like, yeah, occupied, whatever. And I'll go back to smoke my cigarette. And that was back when I was like an iPhone 3. You know what I mean? And so I'm sitting there and I'm fucking messing with that beer game at the same time where like you turn your phone, it looks like a beer porn, and I'm like smoking a cigarette, banging it on, and start banging on the door. And I'm like, someone's fucking in here, use the other bathroom, So anyways, I'm waiting, and I was like, well, if it was like a manager or something, like, one of the store managers, I was like, maybe I should wait, So I waited an extra like 10 minutes. Only made it fucking worse. I come out, and this fucking dude's out there with him and his buddy in a wheelchair waiting to take a shit. I got my ass chewed out for that.
Not for the cigarette,
wonder
just
why.
for the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's good. That's good. I like it.
That's too bad.
Earn in
Hot
chat
dog.
says Frank Carnes, a 39-year-old Sacramento resident, shot his lawnmower in May of 1981 when it would not start. He was fined $60 by the Sacramento Municipal Court on one account of public gunfire. I've never gotten so mad I've wanted to like shoot my Xbox. You know what I mean? Like,
I'd like to have a video of that though. That sounds
Yeah.
funny. It's like
I know
goddamn
there's, like, the
fucking
whole,
thing
like-
the last time. But if you're like working on that shit all the time, I know cars can frustrate you to the point where you just want to fucking tip them over.
But you
So,
don't
I
shoot
get
the
it.
car. Like
I don't
to
know.
Be,
There's been some cars.
to be king of the jungle, you need to like pounce and grab their neck, not go like, I win. Well, of course, it's it's not going to run from you. Not running at all. It's a piece of shit lawnmower.
No, it should make me feel
Yeah.
better. It's not to make it feel worse.
Are
VA,
you
I
dead?
never backed up the toilet. I'd rip the filter apart before I flushed it. Like,
Hate that.
and then let's see. LJ says I use short urinal so I'm not dangling in the water to poop.
Yeah.
To poop. But anyways, I think that's all we got for you guys tonight.
That's
Closing
it?
Yeah.
arguments, anyone?
Nope.
No, I'm Sewer Rug. And I'm gonna wrap this up now. No funny voices here. No need. We had a good time. We got legal. We got justified. We got justice. Sean Bean's going to jail. I can't wait for prison. I can't wait for him to come back and go to fucking prison. I want to hear his side of the case. Either way,
Sentencing next week.
chat. You guys are awesome. These guys are awesome. We made it.
You're on
That's
top.
it. No voices. Done.
All right. You know who I am? I'm Anthony Romello over on Instagram. If you need any fantastic, partakeable stuff, head over to rogueshop.com. Chat, thank you so much for coming and being part of this. This was a week of me watching Law and Order and just going, hey, I want to do a show about it. It's like a stupid binge watch thing, but I'm glad you guys hung out and had a good time. Anyway, Vandal, take us on home, buddy.
And I'm Case Law Sewer Rug. I may not have the hair on my head, but I will never lose your case. No.
Well, thanks for watching the show. We kind of like slapped the last part together, but you guys stayed here for it. I don't see some new people here. I'm sorry you came right now. Guess what? We're leaving. Just like your dad. We're gone. And we're not going to get ice cream. And if we are, we're not sharing it with you. But come back next week. Maybe we'll have something for you. Our second family will get tired of us, and we got to come here and show some affection to you to feel something to feel alive. Other than that, I ain't got nothing else for you. You can check us out on the Friday Fallout Instagram at the Friday Fallout. It's real complicated. Or if Ern's still here, we have a Discord. Maybe he'll share it, maybe he won't. But happy birthday to V8. I hope
Happy
you don't
birthday,
cry too
V8.
much into the cupcakes. You know what I mean? And I hope you don't shove too many of them in your ass. And if you do, I don't know, take a picture, I guess. I don't know. Well, I don't know what we're doing here anymore. Anyways, that's the show. That's it. We'll see you guys next week. We'll have something else. Don't go touch kids or something. Dun dun. Bye, everybody.